Hello and welcome. This is Primetime News on MITV. I am Tumi Singuju, and we begin tonight with the top stories. The federal government lists criteria to access 250 billion naira gas intervention fund, as IPOB insists on sit-at-home order in Igbo land. From the forest in Taliban captured key northern Afghan city Kunduz, third provincial capital in 3 days. In sport, Lionel Messi confirms Barcelona exit amidst tears. And now to news in detail. The federal government says investors must meet several criteria to access the 250 billion naira intervention fund for gas value chain businesses launched by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The intervention fund was launched August last year. Brenda Atega, the technical advisor to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Tirupres Silva, listed the criteria in Abuja on Sunday when she addressed newsmen. She added that on the SME's portion, 50 applications had been received, noted the SME scheme had a limit of 50 million naira. Their technical feasibility, overall business plan, and skills and experience output of the business plan, as they must meet the government's national objective of cresting unskilled and skilled employment. He added that SMEs would also follow a similar structure, that startups would enjoy some leniency in the financial model. Another criteria is socio-economic impact of the business plan and what percentage of internally generated revenue it contributes to the state in which the applicant plans to operate. The indigenous people of Biafra has dismissed the alleged statement from the younger brother to its leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that it has suspended its sit-at-home schedule for Monday, the 9th of August 2021. A statement from IPOB's Media and Publicity Secretary, Imam Powerful, said the alleged Kanu brother who issued the statement is not the spokesman for IPOB, therefore should be ignored. According to the Powerful, to Imam Powerful, Kanu's brother is not IPOB spokesperson, and anyone who listened to what is called deceptive statement and obligated to do such by coming out on Monday will get it hot. The IPOB leader's younger brother, Kanunta Kanu, IPOB explained it arrived at the decision after listening to pleas from well-meaning Nigerians and groups that the order be suspended to allow students in Igbo land participate in the NICO examination. He stated that a new date for the commencement of the sit-at-home order will be announced later. The pro-Biafra group had a penultimate week ordered for the sit-at-home that will be observed every Monday throughout Igbo land, starting from the 9th of August until the IPOB leader is released. Meanwhile, Governor Willie Obiano has threatened that any government worker in Anambra State who abstains from office on Monday because of the sit-at-home order by the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB will forfeit his or her August salary and other severe sanctions. This was contained in a circular to the heads of all the ministries, parastatals and agencies of government by the head of service, HOS Harry Udo. The government asked all commissioners and permanent secretaries to monitor the compliance of the state and report back. It read that all the commissioners, the permanent secretaries, are to report the compliance. Before the circular on Sunday, the state government had made it clear residents should ignore the order by IPOB and go about their normal businesses. But many residents say they would stick to the safe option of staying away, as the fear of a possible attack has gripped the residents. But the Anambra State Police Commander said there is no cause for alarm. The command with other state sister agencies would make sure no harm befall citizens who go about their normal business. And moving down to Kogi State, the Governor Yahya Bello has expressed his commitment to the citizens that the ongoing developmental strides in all the sectors across the state will be sustained by his administration. Governor Yahya Bello disclosed this while speaking at the first annual GYB seminar for Nigeria's political and crime editors and correspondents in Abuja. Our correspondent, Abiola Ismail, has details. Okay, we go and bring you that story much later. Moving on, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project Sarah urged President Mamiji Buhari to direct the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami and appropriate anti-corruption agencies to investigate the reported spending of over 880 billion naira of public funds by 367 ministries, departments and agencies in 2018 without appropriation. SERP said any such investigation should establish whether public funds have been mismanaged, diverted or stolen. Anyone suspected to be responsible should face prosecution as appropriate. If there is sufficient admissible evidence, and any misappropriated public funds must be recovered. In the open letter dated 7th of August 2021 and signed by SERP Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, the organization said endowment regulations suggest a grave violation of public trust, the Nigerian Constitution of 1999 as amended, and international human rights and anti-corruption standard. Spending of public funds without appropriation will create opportunities for corruption. Serap said investigating and prosecuting anyone who spends such funds without appropriation and authorization will send a powerful message that illegal and unconstitutional practice will not be tolerated any longer. And following numerous reports of reckless driving, which often leads to accidents and unnecessary traffic gridlock, among others, the Lagos State government appears not to be folding its hands any longer. Towards this direction, drivers, especially those of commercial vehicles, are undergoing sensitization by the State Drivers Institute last year and what is expected of motorists while plying the road. Our correspondent Fatou Kule has this report.
Incidents of road mishaps, traffic gridlock and other unfortunate incidents around on Lagos roads, no thanks largely to poor driving by motorists who fail to comply by road safety regulations despite penalties for violation and enforcement put in place.
Most of us, most drivers, we don't have driving etiquette. We can move a car, it's not by having the experience. You can have the experience and even don't use your driving etiquette. Do you understand? So most especially sometimes when you move a car, probably you are trying to trafficate, you want to move to the next lane, you see the other road users as a driver will get aggressive, like, oh, you don't go, you not move, I will not let you to, unless you beg.
When they drive carelessly, it can cause accident. Some of them are poor drivers. Some of them are illiterate. They drive anyhow, not minding that they are carrying many people.
It was against this background that the annual Public Enlightenment and Advocacy campaign tagged Drivers Education, Panacea to Economic Development by the State Drivers Institute, LASTRI, took place at the Ujudu Bega axis of the state. The advocacy program came in view of the importance of drivers in transporting people and goods statewide, apart from educating commercial vehicle drivers on what was expected of them. Data capturing was also provided for drivers to help the state government have a database of registered vehicles.
Of this year pre-Ember month program, meaning driver education panacea to economic growth. We believe drivers, they are very important to economy of any nation. And majority of them, they are not learned. They don't have the nitty-gritty, the technicality in driving, they don't know. Then we believe bringing our services to their doorstep will take the driving profession to the next level. So we believe drivers are contributing to economic sustainability of the nation, because we need to move from origin to destination, and where you are talking about road transportation, driver is very key.
Continuous training, workshops, seminars, because the human nature, by human nature, there is tendency for forgetfulness or negligence, and in order to bring the mind back to the required consciousness, training, retraining, enlightenment, everything that has to do with getting more knowledge and getting empowered towards knowing what to do, when to do it in the right way.
It is unlawful for anyone to place their vehicle on Lagos Road that is not registered. Before you can put your vehicle on the road, on Lagos Road, you have to get a means of identification. If at all you want to drive your vehicle from a port, for instance, you want to take it to a destination, you still need to obtain, and you are not ready to register it, fully register, you still need to obtain what we call TVT. That is a temporary vehicle tag. And that it will last for 30 days.
For the motorists, especially those of commercial vehicles, such enlightenment program was a welcome development as it would help to promote sanity in the roads.
It's a welcome development. We have been yearning for sanity on the road, especially in Lagos State. Bringing this program to this park is a laudable program which we should be able to key in, and at the end of the program we are going to be beneficial.
With such advocacy campaign, the bulk is now on motorists to demonstrate good attitudinal behavior on the roads and play their role and part as concerted efforts to reduce road mishap and traffic gridlock across Lagos roads continues to gear up.
The federal government has been admonished to vigorously tackle the issue of power, which remains the engine room for economic transformation in the country. Speakers at the installation of Rotarian Sonny Nwachukwu as the 25th president of the Victoria Grid City explained that the rate of unemployment that is skyrocketing every day can be brought to the barest minimum if the issue of power is addressed. Leading the speakers, Rotarian Kituwa Sheumeku and Oluwasesan Padameku and Rotarian Sonny Nwachukwu advised the government to do more in areas of education, health and empowerment. They also noted that as joining the club, the government needs to do more in providing infrastructure and basic amenities needed by the people. In some communities, the advised government should double its work through creation of an enabling environment for the people.
The objective is impact. The objective is building a community of people that are out to touch people, make changes, be an aid to government, to society. So we're involved in multiple areas of service that touch the sick, the needy, education, and so much. So this club has been here for 25 years plus. We hope to build on the legacy of the people that have come before us and make impact. We're coming out from the COVID year, so we'll be touching issues around COVID, issues around polio, issues around child and maternal health, issues around education. So there are needs, there are gaps, and we'll find ways to fill them.
As a standard practice of ensuring that you work within the theme for each month, and there are 7 areas of focus. And I've seen his program, and the programs are well articulated, and I trust that he will accomplish them one after the other.
We'll do a lot for the citizens if they tackle unemployment by providing employment for the youth, by empowering the youth. The solution to this is if government provides employment for the youth by creating policies that will aid employment, it will go a long way to reduce the suffering of the masses.
Because if we have just ordinary light, that is power, I can say, okay, maybe PCN. Nigeria will go a long way. Many people forget about federal government, even state, even local government. Now, if I have light power in my house or in my office, so what concerns me that someone is fighting outside? Look at barbers, look at hairdressers, look at organizers. They need power to run their businesses. But when there's none, then you see crimes everywhere. So I will beg the government, both states and federal, to please look into power. When we have that, I'm sure Nigeria will be a better place to live in.
After the withdrawal of the powers In Afghanistan, the Taliban seem to be capturing city by city, and as of now has captured the third provincial capital. We'll bring you details of that story and others from the foreign scene after this break.
These are part of the problems. Don't throw refuse in the drains, we refuse. Don't build on the drain, we refuse. These and many more are the causes of flooding that's threatening our homes and environment, bringing untold hardship. Lagosians, the rains are here again. Let's not turn this blessing into a curse. Let's join hands with the Lagos state government to do the right thing. Don't build on drains. Don't throw refuse into the drain. Anyone caught performing this despicable act will face the law. Do the right thing so that nature will be kind to us. Igbega Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Ajumosheni. Announcer, Lagos State Government.
My name is Madam Omotolani Balogun. I'm a social care worker in Dublin. Adron Homes was introduced to me by my mom, though I've decided not to do anything in Nigeria again due to one reason or the other. But she insisted that we must, not only me and my siblings, we must have a place to call a home in this estate. And here we are. I'm proud to say I'm a landowner here. House owner go, not be landowner again, because we don't build and finish. All the praises and thanks to God Almighty and to my lovely mom, Alaja Oshabi Yausi. There's nothing like Omonile, and there is nothing like stressing yourself to have a building here. And anybody just can't come in without security check. So the security itself is what I bought and what I'm enjoying there. This is my mom and this is my dad. We are one big family in Adron Homes. There is no place like home. No matter how far you travel, home is home.
Adron Homes, making the incredible affordable.
Welcome back. It's still primetime news on MITV, and now from the foreign scene. The Taliban have captured the key northern Afghan city of Kunduz, one of the country's largest, after fierce fighting with government forces as chaotic scenes have been reported with buildings and shops ablaze. A local official said all but the city's airport had fallen to the militants. The group's flag was seen raised in the city center. 4 regional capitals have now fallen to the Taliban since Friday. Kunduz is their most important game this year. The militants also fought their way into another northern city, Sahepur, which was captured within the hours of Kunduz. Afghan officials insist their forces still remain in the cities that have fallen and fighting is ongoing. Violence has escalated across the Afghanistan cities after the United States and other international forces began to withdraw their troops from the country following a 20-year of military operations. Taliban militants have made rapid advances in recent weeks, having captured large swaths of the countryside. They are now targeting key towns and cities. The Syrian government artillery shells struck a village in the last rebel enclave in this country, killing 4 children from the same family. This was according to rescue workers and a war monitor. The rescue workers in opposition areas known as the White Helmets said the shells landed in the residential neighborhoods in the village of Kastum, west of Hama province, seriously injuring 5 other people. The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a war monitor, also said that 4 children were killed in the attack. The shelling is part of an ongoing military escalation in the northwestern Syria area, which had been under a ceasefire brokered by Russia and Turkey since last year. The Idlib region is home to nearly 3 million people, 2/3 of them displaced from other parts of the country during the decade-long civil war. It is dominated by Syria's former Al-Qaeda affiliates, but various other opposition groups are also present there. Moving away from war stories to the United States and talking COVID-19. The United States is now averaging about 100,000 new COVID-19 COVID-19 infections per day, returning to a milestone last seen during the winter surge as health officials urge people to get vaccinated to stem the surging spread of the Delta variant. Across the country, 70.6% of adults have received at least one dose of vaccine, while 60.9% are considered fully inoculated, according to the United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) data. But millions remain unvaccinated, and a surge in infections has been recorded in states with low vaccination rates, such as Florida and Texas. It took the U.S. about 9 months to cross the 100,000 average case number in November, before peaking at about 250,000 in early January. Cases bottomed out in June, averaging about 11,000 per day, but 6 weeks later, the number is 107,143 cases.
Of this particular virus transmitting more readily is unquestionable about that. What is less clear is whether or not it actually makes individuals more seriously ill. There have been a number of studies that have not been overwhelmingly impressive in the data, but they are suggestive that, for example, a study from Canada looked at the increase in hospitalizations among people in general, including children, and it seemed to suggest that it was a bit more serious. But
and Indonesia's most volatile volcano has erupted on the densely populated island of Java, spewing smoke and ash into the air after sending streams of lava and gases down its slopes. Mount Merapi unleashed clouds of hot ash at least 7 times on Sunday, as well as a series of fast-moving pyroclastic flows, a mixture of rock, debris, lava and gases, said Hanik Umeda, who heads the city of Yogyakarta's Volcanology and Geological Hazard Mitigation Center. The rumbling sound will be heard several kilometers away. No casualties have been reported, however. The mountain has seen increased volcanic activity in recent weeks, with its lava dome growing rapidly before partially collapsing on Sunday, sending rocks and ash following down the volcano's southwest flank. Ash from the eruption blanketed several villages and nearby towns. We take another break. When we come back, we're talking sports, and Lionel Messi for back tears when he gave a press conference he would be leaving Barcelona. Welcome back. In sports, Lionel Messi fought back tears on Sunday as he began a press conference at which he confirmed he is considering leaving Barcelona, where he has played his entire career. The 34-year-old Argentinian superstar, 6 times Ballon d'Or winner, has been out of contract since the end of June, and Barcelona say they can no longer afford to keep him, with Paris Saint-Germain widely expected to try to entice him to pack the princes. Struggling to contain his emotions, a suited Messi said he and his family were convinced they were going to stay at Camp Nou this year. Last year, he sought to engineer release from his contract in frustration at some of the poor showings in Europe by the club, when he has won 4 Champions Leagues, but ended up staying. Last month, Barcelona, battling huge debt, had said they were in agreement in principle with the player and entourage on a new 5-year deal on much reduced wages. And talking about the Olympics, a blistering United States outplayed host Japan to win a 7th successive women's basketball gold on Tokyo 2020's final day of action. Celebrated veterans Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi became the first players to win 5 Olympic basketball titles. It makes the side unbeaten in 55 Olympic matches, with a last defeat in 1992 semi-final. Japan earned silver in their best ever finish, with France taking the bronze. Phoenix Mercury's Brittany Griner was the dominant force during the 90-75 win, scoring a game high 30 points with 5 rebounds and 2 assists. And Eliud Kipchoge says he has fulfilled his legacy after the Kenyan became the first athlete since 1980 to retain an Olympic marathon title at the Tokyo 2020. Kipchoge, only the third person to win successive Olympic marathons, finished in 2 hours, 8 minutes and 38 seconds. Regarded as the greatest marathon runner of all time, the 36-year-old crossed the line 1 minute 20 seconds ahead of the Netherlands Adi Nageye. In the race for the bronze, Belgian Bashir Adi edged out Kenyan Lawrence Cherono. It is the 4th Olympic medal for Kipchoge, who famously recorded the first sub-2-hour marathon in 2019. And that brings us to the end of our primetime news tonight. A quick recap of the top stories as we go. The federal government has listed the criteria to access the 250 billion naira gas intervention fund, as IPOB insists on the sit-at-home order in Igbo land come Monday. In foreign news, Taliban captured key northern Afghan city Kunduz, the 3rd provincial capital, in 3 days. And in sports, Lionel Messi confirms his Barcelona exit amidst tears. And that brings us to the end of our primetime news tonight. Many thanks for joining us. Do visit our website www.mitvonline.ng for more stories. I am Toby C. Have a beautiful